Hello and welcome, folks. How is it going? We're back for some amulet today, and I received a request on YouTube the other day, and I also received. It wasn't YouTube. I think it was in the Facebook group, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember at this point, but yeah. So Caleb 603 Lev, for those of you that you don't know, is one of the always towards the top of the leaderboard, and he has a lot of success with amulet, and he's been having some success with a breach list. And Mistaken, who's another amulet player and actually a streamer from, I don't know where he's from, but he streams in Spanish, and he was playing some breach. And with the printing of Fierce Empath, actually revisiting breach makes a lot of sense, because now Fierce Empath can go get Emrakul's. So that is definitely an interesting thing. Now Empath represents an indirect way to go get Emrakul by using Summoner Spect. So it makes sense to try to come and revisit this list. Also, another potential upgrade, and I say potential upgrade because I'm still not sure how much of a cost it's gonna be to run the card. But Ketria Triumph is basically free fixing to help cast through the breaches in the main deck, and to help cast our sideboard cards. So definitely some interesting additions and some interesting approaches that we can be taking with this list. Because I am trying to go for mono red, I'm using battlements. Yes, I know it sucks, but I think that it's necessary. That splashy Borders Garrison just actually does not really make a lot of sense when we're trying to. Like, we are adding inconsistencies to the deck, right? Like, we're adding cards that don't do literally anything by themselves. So when we're adding inconsistencies to the deck, I like to make sure that, like, we're adding inconsistencies to increase the power level with these cards. So it makes sense to decrease the power level by adding a little bit more of consistency, thanks to Hunger Battlements. I'm definitely going to be watching out for situations where Battlements is worse than Stronghold, and vice versa as well. Okay, so 29 lands. Playing Gracers instead of Stacy, because Gracer is better against all the lava darts that are right now in Magic Online, and at the same time Gracer also helps in like, we are only ramping to 5 now instead of ramping towards 6, so like the one turn that we miss kind of gets made up by the through the reach. The sideboard is definitely very up in the air, as you can see by the addition of 1 Bone Crusher Giant and 1 Wormcoil Engine. So clearly I'm experimenting with different things here, different ideas that I want to explore with this archetype. You will see that I'm not playing any counter magic, and instead I am playing just like mono removal. This is definitely a metagame choice considering the current metagame right now. We're gonna get hurt in matchups like Ad Nauseam or stuff like that, but we will cross the bridge when we get there, I guess. Wood for Promise is definitely one of my pet cards, and I think that it's only playable in a breach version, but it's really good in a breach version. So I'm definitely excited about casting some Primuses. Like Modern, but I felt over the past few years, the Modern has become a lot more of a high variance format versus previous years, especially with the large amount of burn prowess type decks and the combo decks with not much interaction as Legacy has. Alpha Kabu, I don't agree with that at all. Honestly, like, burn and prowess are the opposite of a high variance format. Like, like, those decks are precisely consistent. That's what makes them good. As far as the combo deck with not much interaction, then yes, I mean, you have Neoform basically, but like, there's interaction for all the other combo decks in the format, and it's definitely less infested with combo than some other formats like Pioneer. Yeah, I do agree that fair decks are a lot better in Legacy than they are in Modern, but on the other hand, we actually just were at a point in time where the fair decks were literally the best decks in the format. So yeah, I mean, if you don't enjoy the play patterns, or if you don't enjoy the decks and stuff like that, then I think that that's perfectly fine. That's just how you feel. So like, I cannot really help you, with that. Like, you either feel that way or you don't. and you either like the format or you don't. But what I'm trying to say is that I actually think that I have consistently been enjoying Modern, basically. I've been consistently enjoying Modern throughout the past months, even. I think I'm gonna keep this hand. It's pretty bad, but I'm gonna keep it, and I'm gonna bottom the Embercool. We can, if we find a breach, we can actually go get the Embercool again with this Fierce Empath, so I'm gonna be looking to finding a Titan, most likely. Because it feels and seems like the most skill intensive and modern used to, for me, I don't know, I am confused player. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, have you been playing a lot of Modern lately? Because if you haven't, then I strongly recommend you do. It will help you make more informed decisions. So, I guess we're just gonna do this. Best draw, of course, is gonna be a prime time, but it's not been that good in a long time before. Only problem is though that bannings happen instead of answers. Yeah, exactly. But I think Modern has been excellent lately. Like I've been legit excited to come and stream every single time. Like I remember doing the Hogak meta game, and like even like around that time, it was kind of like almost a burden to stream because, well, I just kind of didn't want to. That was a solid top deck there. What's gonna happen here? Are they gonna answer the Dryad, or are they gonna flash in a Batterskull? Petty Theft. Okay. Well, that's really good for us. Because now we recast this bad boy. And now we're gonna... So we're answering this regardless. Petty Theft. Naming Giant. Now we get a zombie. We also get to Valakut their dude. And now we're free to resolve Fierce Empath. All sorts of good stuff for us. I wanted to get back into it, but I don't see a deck that I like. Oof. there's so many decks, my friend. Unfortunately, I cannot really help you there. That, like, I've been playing a lot of different games. I recommend you check out the YouTube channel, because I've been playing. In this channel I mostly focus on Amulet, so you will see a lot of different versions of Amulet being played in this channel. But I have been experimenting with a bunch of other decks. I played some 5-color Nib. I played banned Stoneblade. I've been actually having a lot of success with that. I've been playing. We played the ninja decks the other day, like fairies with ninjas. I've been playing some control decks. I've been playing some. What else have I been playing lately? I've been playing some other brews, like Ren and 6 decks with lands and stuff. I've been kind of all over the place. Okay, this matchup we are ready for. Because we have so many tools for this matchup. Okay, so all of these are gonna come in. All the removal spells. Rex Sage. Honestly, we have a little bit too many tools for this matchup. Teetering Peaks? No, that card is just not playable. I have a lot of fun with Baguru. Yeah, Baguru is pretty good right now. Bant Udo is also pretty good. Use my pool of wizards to make them pretty brave for enchantments. That would be pretty sick, actually. Like in Mortify, that's actually good. They can force breach. They cannot force breach when you cast it on their end step. I like the Son of Creation list that Spy was playing today. Yeah, it looked pretty weird, but yeah. Worm is nice in this game? No. Against Path to Exile decks, Worm is kind of a waste. Worm Coil, that is. Breach is actually good against the instant speed decks. Ghost Quarter can probably go. I'm just gonna cut all the Gracers. I could cut the Explorers instead of the Gracers. I think I like that better. I'm playing Boseiju in the sideboard. Yeah, Mistake. So the problem with Boseiju is that, like, what are you trying to protect with Boseiju? Exactly, through the reach, right? Well, through the reach gets Aether Gusted just the same. And Boseiju, whether you're using it to cast spells or not, it costs you 3 life per activation anyway. So I think that Boseiju it's just bad at doing what you want it to do. So I'm not really interested in playing the card. These hands are pretty rough. Okay, this sounds pretty good. Right, so keep this, bottom this, and bottom this. If they have a turn 3 Ashok or something, I'm gonna be sad. But fuck Aether Gust. Yeah, you're preaching to the choir, my friend. You're preaching to the choir over here. Also works with a Braden Force, and not if I'm not playing Force. And like again, like the issue is still the same, right? Like we're losing to Aether Gust. I'm not losing to counter magic. I'm losing to Aether Gust because that card is messed up. Oh man, it would be so good if I added Red Source. So good. Damn it. There's Ashiok. Okay. Oh, we have a minuser? We have a minuser, chat. Red Source. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Minus away, my friend. Minus away. Red Source, please. No Red Source. This is the problem that I was expecting to see, right? Like we just don't have that many Red Sources. We have 8 Red Sources. That's definitely not enough. 10 Red Sources, sorry. I would like to be closer to 12. But... Wait, what? Why are we doing this now? Any minusers, any minusers. Thank you so much, Trex, for the subscription. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold. Well, we're gonna get to cast the Titan here. For what it's worth. Here's a 6/6. Please don't have a path. Luck sucks so hard against Bonsa. Luck sucking feels good. We're gonna get minused again, chat. I think I'm pitching this to Larry West. Yeah. The worst part is when the minusers don't, like, they stay on their ways because they think that it makes sense to them, but they don't get punished, right? Like right now, I can't punish them because I don't have a red source. If I had access to any red sources, I would be able to shock this, and then we would destroy them basically. But because I am the unluckiest person, I'm basically the unluckiest. We could just luck suck into the perfect top. Like, what I assume my opponent was going to field me here, so I don't want to expose the red source. That's why I laid on the blue source. Because I was expecting my opponent to just like blow up my land. But I think maybe they just have like a Snapcaster Mage or something. Or another Path to Exile. What is this? Shark Typhoon? That's not really a big deal. Also, Sword of Feast and Famine, if we use Bone Crusher Giant, we actually get to... like, we don't get to block, but... what am I trying to say here? What is this? So we showed them the Breach, we didn't show them the Emrakul. So we don't get to block, but if we attack into something with a Sword of Feast and Famine, it actually dies because Bone Crusher stops damage from being prevented. They also wasted a Cryptic. My opponent is not... They're making some interesting plays. And by interesting, I mean terrible. But I thought that was implied. I mean, they didn't field me last turn, and they didn't Cryptic my Titan, so they should not field me here either. Which seems like it's the case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does Steerings makes a lot of sense in this deck? Dark Saga? I don't think so. No. That is the short answer. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, no. Because it doesn't really do anything for us, basically. Like, it finds Emrakul, but like, which cards am I supposed to cut to make room for Steerings is the question. And none of the cards that I am supposed to cut, I'm interested in cutting, basically. V-click. I mean, that's not lethal. We don't have Valakut though, so I don't think there's any way that we have to actually come back from this. Because both of them were exiled by the Ashiok. Okay, so I think we're just packing it in here. Yeah. I kind of want Primus. Also, Fire Spout is a little bit tempting. I think that I prefer the 1-for-1 removal instead of the sweeper. Click in 2020. I know it's been a minute. Honestly, Click is such a great card. It's just a beautifully designed card. Such a beautifully designed card. It's so sad to... It's so sad that it basically just doesn't see any play whatsoever. What's up, Jeff? How's it going? Nice deck. Oh yeah, this is a beautiful mess. But it's my beautiful mess, you know? Is he even good in the equipment matchup? I mean, if you look at my opponent's board state, all three of the things that I lost to were three CMC. So yeah, if you can make explosives for 3, if you can make explosives for 3 happen, you're probably gonna be in fine shape in this matchup. I can't fire spell because it gets blown out by Blitz. It depends, but yes, it might. We're just gonna play the Azusa here. Of course, we're not afraid of, well, literally anything at this point. Like, there's nothing they can do with 2 mana and instant speed that I'm scared of. And if they counter my Azusa, I'm pretty happy. I need to print a Fire Spell Anger that deals 4 now. That would be great, actually. Suicide's definitely going to the bottom here. Steerings would be good here. Well, not really. Like, what would Steerings be doing for me? Bone Crusher. Well, we're basically playing Amulet Control at this point. Okay. I could cast Breach here to put a Titan into play, but then it dies. Yeah, it doesn't seem particularly good. Like, any land just allows me for better lines, so... Oh, I missed the Sakapa? Oh, whoops. Sorry, I read the comment and forgot to read the emote to see the emote. Who am I anymore? Who am I anymore? Okay, that's a terrible draw. Shark. I could play a Naked Breach on end step. I don't think that's what I'm gonna do. I think we just kind of chill here. So they're gonna draw Gust next turn. Breach the Giant. Hell yeah. I could haste it, but I'd rather hold up a braid. Me playing battlements, yeah, I know. Feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. They bottomed Gust? Because they were drawing a Gust there. Seems like they bottomed it. For you. I mean, I'm kind of winning the race. V-click. Can you tap Cavern for colored mana to cast the adventure half of Bone Crusher? Oh, really? You can't? Wow, that's like the worst possible draw that we could have ever imagined. That was the best Vendilion click ever, basically. That was the best Vendilion click ever in the history of Vendilion clicks. Can we draw something good here, please? Come on. Deck. Come on, deck. Deck. Let's go. We just need to jam. I think we just need to jam, chat. This sucks. These are not good draws. These are not good draws. We need better than this. We need better than this. Okay, so this resolved. So I think I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna get Dryad. Place around Remand and stuff like that. He gets Cryptic just the same, but I think we just have to. Like, if they have an answer to it, they just have an answer to it. Yeah. My opponent is playing with fire, but we cannot punish them. Which is the worst. It's the worst. They are playing with fire, but there's nothing we can do about it. Because our hand was just... We basically drew the 3 worst possible cards in a row. Like, in order. This was the worst, this was the second worst, and this was the third worst. I don't think anything we... I guess technically we can try to raise with the Bone Crusher. But my opponent has access to Cryptics and I don't. Have you tested this kind of journey to serve as an empath target? Gust. We lose to Gust. We don't lose to anything else. Right? We lose to specifically Aether Gust. And none of those cards help me against Aether Gust, basically. Gonna pitch the monkey. Well, shit. Now we can't race anymore. Remember when I said that I wanted to race? Well, we're off that plan now. We're off it. It doesn't work anymore. Help, chat. No. No. I need help, chat. I'm gonna have to discard the Gruul Turf here. Also, they just have a Cryptic in hand, so I kind of don't know what it is that I'm doing here. We're just dead. I just have to equip this here, and we're done. We are done. Record so far, we're about to lose this very first match. I don't think there's anything we can do at this point. I played this to give myself the out to draw Semi-Growth Chamber, but I forgot that they actually have a Cryptic in hand, so there's nothing, like I just have no outs. My opponent's just, yeah, they're just struggling about nonsense. There's no right or wrong play at that point. It just doesn't matter anymore. Brutal, man. Ugh, that Vendilion click. That Vendilion click was insane. That Vendilion click was insane. It took our best card in our hand and it gave us the literal worst card in our deck. That was the best Vendilion click. It was just as good as I remember it. Alright, down to 5. These hands are too slow and they just don't do anything. I guess we keep in this and we put them in this and this. If against Gust, you ever think of Sakama? Yeah, I usually like to play around Gust by casting cards that can get gusted. It's the best way to play around it, you know? Is the Red Index fault Amulet is weaker? Without it, we'd see fewer other gusts. Not only would we see a few other gusts around, but we also would see a lot less of one of Amulet's worst matchup. So probably playing against Black Green Rock. So we definitely need to be wary about Field of Ruin, Lurus. Oh, Abzan? Ew. You're not playing that sweet deck you beat me with last night? No, I'm playing something else today. I streamed, was that Tyler Joe Bryan? Was that with the Chalice deck that you're talking about? Okay. Tomorrow is no day, Emily. Would I play Blue-White Blade? I could play Blue-White Blade. Don't. Okay. So they're probably gonna take my summoners back here. Yeah, we have some options for tomorrow. Blue-white blade is a good option. We could be playing some bug reclamation. It's a deck that's been popping up here and there. Draw Emrakul. Okay, sure. Well, I mean, if we draw an Emrakul or a Titan, I think we win. Unless they have another Thoughtseize. Liliana doesn't do anything, because we're just going to pitch this. Lurus. That also doesn't do anything. So, if we top deck an Emrakul or a Primeval Titan, we're going to win. And if we don't, we are probably going to lose. Summoner's Pact also counts, obviously. Well, I guess Emrakul doesn't win anymore now. Okay, we didn't. Baloth, these, Wormcoil, Breaches are gonna go, Emrakuls are gonna go. Bonecrusher actually sounds pretty good. Keep. Pretty solid draw here. I'm gonna go with this because it allows me to turn to Asusa. Please Inquisition me on one. So my line is probably going to be next turn Tolerary West, following turn bounce, transmit. Show me that Inquisition. Come on. No, you want an opponent. Let's go. Inquisition. Assassin's Trophy. Brutality. That's even better. Because they spend 2 mana for the same effect. I don't think this is a good card against Amulet. If you're playing any kind of discard spell style deck, you should probably never be playing this card against Amulet. You're probably better off playing something else. This is a Fulminator, that could be a problem, but anything short of a Fulminator, we're probably fine. Ashiok, I guess. We can play Baloth to clock Ashiok, though. Bob. Okay, that one is kind of a problem. Well... we can play your Baloth. Yeah, I guess we have to. We have to start putting on some pressure. Bloodless Shrine. Is this the most underplayed dual land in Modern? Is this the plateau of Modern? Is the question. Lingering Souls! Whoa! Remember Lingering Souls, chat? Holy crap. Now that's some serious flashbacks. Lingering Souls. Wow. My opponent's coming straight up from 2016. Just got here from 2016. Field and I guess Hangware Battlements. I could not care less about that. Lingering Souls in the graveyard. Liliana of the Veil. Not great on this board state. Next up, Siege Rhino. That would be delightful. Okay, what do we got here? Black Source, Thoughtseize, Stake Your Wormcoil Engine. Okay, next. What's next here? Liliana. Okay, sounds good. Minus, kill my Arbor Gracer. Attack you for 2. Wow, that's how you mean that that's how you know that my opponent means business over there. So something tell me what we're gonna get Path to Exile here. Not too worried about that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Simic Growth. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we cannot go get another Titan this turn. We can present lethal with Engineered Explosives. We can present lethal with a Triad. Yeah, let's do Triad lethal. Summoner's Pact. Triad. Play. So if they path here, we get to haste the Triad anyway. We get to attack with everything. Next turn we set up lethal with Tulare West. Okay, wow, Lingering Souls. And not only do they have Lingering Souls, but they also kept it in against me. On the draw, I'm gonna go with some extra ramp and a little bit less actual threats. Do I want to upgrade is the question because of Robert. Nah. I kind of want to Primus, but I'm going to hold myself. Say Francisco. You're not thinking clearly. I know you really want to Primus, but you should not. Look at this self-control. I mean, we're gonna keep this hand. Put him most to 6. With every mulligan, I just assume that my discard spell playing opponents are going to be more likely to have more discard spells. So it's probably not good for us. Mark Flats is also the displayed fetch on the modern. That's true, yeah. Bye-bye Amulet. Hardly even knew ya. Okay. It's a pretty good draw. Is white... If white is the weakest color in Modern, which is the second weakest? In Modern... In Modern, what's the second weakest color? I legit don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, white is far and away the worst color. Like, so much worse than everything else. So much worse than literally everything else. But I'm really struggling to think about which one will be the second one. Black and red. Red is just so good in Modern, though. And black is also very good. So if they Liliana minus here, we might still be okay. Like, they will need another removal spell or a second Liliana. They're gonna answer my Dryad, boohoo, that really sucks. That actually does. But at least I'm gonna get to resolve a Titan. So we get to ramp a little bit and we get to get some lands into play. So it's not the worst. Yeah, green and blue are very, very good in Modern. And blue is far and away the best color in Legacy. But in Legacy, red is probably a lot worse. But red is good against blue because of Pyroblast. So it's a weird balance. All in all, white is the worst color in every single format. That part is the straightforward part. Think red is much better solid because of Pyroblast. Yeah, exactly. But red is, the vast majority of the time, is just a splash color, right? There's not any real... I guess you have the mono red prison deck or whatever that was popular at one point. But besides that, you don't really have... Like, there's no burn, right? And in Modern, there's actually multiple mono red decks. You have the Prowess deck, you have the burn deck, so you have a bunch of primarily red colors in Modern, which you don't really have in Legacy. But in Modern, there's a lot of red decks. Mountain is the most played land in Modern, apparently. Yeah, because of what I'm saying right now. And also, if it's a matter of statistics, then you also have like freaking precisely like the mono red decks are, well, they have like 20 mountains, right? So they're gonna bring the average a lot higher. So usually mono red decks just play a bunch of mountains. Interesting line. Like, they need to have an answer to the Dryad here. Generative explosives? No. So, we have 4 mana this turn, so we can definitely set up... We can definitely set up a Titan for next turn. Unless they have another Fulminator. Even whether this Dryad wins, dies or survives, we can set up a Titan. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Vesuva and play another Gruul Turf. And now that we have access to a forest, we can actually bounce here. And if they somehow do not answer my Dryad, Collective Brutality. Oh my god, it's actually gonna be good this time. Well, I guess I get back for Baloth. No, but I'm not gonna have enough time. I'm not gonna have enough time. So we know about two cards. We know about the Liliana and we know about the Brutality. Is the rest? I'm well aware of. I'm thinking of what happens if my opponent goes Liliana, goes Brutality plus Liliana plus. I am very well aware that this is a dress. But I think that the correct line is to simply just not cast this card. If they go for the Brutality, right? If they don't, then I'm gonna see what happens. Because I don't think I can afford to double time walk myself here. Because this also... Oh, well, that sucks. It's a really big goy for now. Okay, so that's a 2-turn clock. So that means that we are dead now. Wormcoil Engine, that's the only thing that we can draw. Wormcoil Engine. Because even if they don't duress me here, then... Oh no, Engineered Explosives. Explosives actually wins here. So here comes the Brutality. Maybe my opponent will discard something. Maybe they will discard Lily to grow the Goif. And drain me for 2. That wouldn't surprise me. Is this the first league? Yes, it's the first league. My opponents have been playing really slow. This opponent particularly has been playing very, very slow. We are basically above 8 minutes ahead on clock. So, okay, so Primeval Titan doesn't do anything. Primeval Titan doesn't do anything. We're going to need to top deck Engineered Explosives. That would be the best top deck. Engineered Explosives will buy us a ton of time. Engineered Explosives, Wormcoil Engine. Those are the 2 cards that matter right now. Because everything else is already covered by this Liliana. EE. EE. Let's go. Gracer. No, that doesn't do it. Whew. Getting destroyed today. I guess not that destroyed. We just won a game. Right now I'm going through a little bit of a rough patch. I played a couple of leagues yesterday working on my brew, and I went 2-3 3 times. You can only go 2-3, and then I played another league with the banned Karn deck that Grant has been working on, G#77, and I went also 2-3 with that deck. You can only go 2-3 with decks enough times before you start before you start feeling bad. At one point I will have to start playing real decks again, chat. I apologize, but I think this is the lowest since I started playing Moto. This is probably like since I started playing Moto, like seriously, I mean, this is probably the lowest my rating has ever been. It's rough. It's rough out there. It is rough out there. We have not cast this card a single time. We had it in our hand a couple of times, and it wasn't very good. Well. So if I draw a Titan, I think I'm gonna bottom the Embercool, right? Turn 1, turn 2. Yeah, we're really far away. But if we draw a Breach, then we're gonna need to have an Embercool in hand. The thing is that Gracer is so good if we're playing against an aggro deck. Ugh, yeah, let's bottom that guy. Hopefully we're playing against the burn style deck, because this hand is really good at buying time. Between the double bounce land, the double Gracer, and the Radiant Fountain, we're going to be able to buy a ton of time. But if they're playing like a real deck, we're actually in trouble. That's not a draw step. Not a draw step. Okay, do we want to play one of these dudes? Do we want to play one of these dudes? I think I don't. I think we just continue to do nothing. Because each one of these represents +1 mana, so every time that I don't play this before I need to, I am actually closer to casting a Titan for each one of these that I hold in hand, basically. This represents +1 mana, so I can technically play turn 4 Titan here. What is this, bug? You can have basically 1680 rating and be a completely good MTGO player. Like Chief is usually under 1700. I think it's very good. Well, usually I hang out. Oh, fuck me. Really? We're playing against Mill. Of all things, we're playing against Mill. God damn it. Well, we can't haze our Titan. Well, I mean, I guess it's true. I guess that we do have Embercool in our deck. That's true. That's true. That's right. Yeah, we have Embercool in our deck, so we're actually fine. I'm protecting these dudes from discard spells, basically. Yeah, I guess that holding the dudes didn't make really a lot of sense. Mill should be laughable with this list. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Well, good thing that we bottomed the Embercool that was in my opener. I will say that. I will say that. Good thing that we bottomed that Embercool that was in my opener. This would be so much better as Stasis. Like, so much better. Oh, it's this version of Mill. Like, they might actually kill me and shit. I'm gonna get to bog them though. Unless they surgical my Titan. They still have extraction effects? Yeah, they do. We're totally getting surgical on draw step. Or extirpated. Or maybe not. Sweet. Alright. So we're definitely getting bogged because like they cannot kill me really. So Tuluria West and Bojuka Bog. Yeah. So here my opponent's probably gonna play the Archive Trap. They should do it after the bog resolves, of course, but Breach, who even am I? I don't even know, Aaron. I don't even know. No Embercool's milled yet. Yes, they mailed battlements. What? Cling to dust my Gruul turf. Good stuff. Honestly, it seems kind of silly to me when a deck like Mill wants to be a little bit more brainiac, to call it somehow, and they're playing things like Udo and Cling to Dust. It's just like, yeah, are you really making your deck worse? Are you really making your deck better? I mean, or are you actually just making it worse? Death Titan, Mesmeric Orb, okay. Okay, on top 4. Do we have Dryads left? Okay, here comes the Surgical on the Valak. You got now they're gonna get to see the Emrakuls. Now they're gonna get to see the Emrakuls. We're gonna have to bog them again, probably. So Valakuts are gone. Oh, they didn't exile the Valakut? They actually did not exile the Valakut in my graveyard. Good times. Well, gonna get mailed a little bit here. No scoop after seeing Emmy. Yeah, I don't know. So there goes some damage. There goes more zombies. Oddly enough, we don't have lethal. So they do have crabs. They have fatal pushes and nonsense like that. Honestly, we might have not even needed. We might have not even needed Emrakul. Just because their deck is so bad. I guess I have to fetch. Because I need to copy the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, just one is fine. Tap my lands to self-mill. I don't think I want to be playing that game. I want my opponent to use their cards, basically. If some... Oh no, I misclicked there. I definitely wanted to play the field so we can set up lethal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14. We're going to be 1 minute off too. That sucks. Tomorrow I'm playing LGS tournament, of course playing Amulet. Any advice? Anything? Mix or anything you can follow? And anything that you have been good with in the past? Nothing really has changed, so we're totally gonna draw an Emrakul right here. Okay, didn't happen. There's no way they have Stifle or something like that, right? Setting up lethal over 2 turns here. Have fun, that is my advice. Yeah, I mean, it's just remember your triggers, I guess. Did not attack with summons because when I kill it with Alpha Strike, precisely. Classic. Okay. Imagine losing to Mill. Yeah. Oh, is your first one? Oh yeah. Take your time, Hatelex. Then I assume that you knew how that you have played. They had played in the past. But yeah, my recommendations would be take your time, think through your lines, and make sure that you are very clear with your triggers, and then make sure that you don't forget them. Those are the two main issues, like forgetting triggers or not explaining them properly or whatever. Okay, Abrades are coming in. Primus is coming in, hell yeah. Rexage. I actually do like fries a lot because of Ashiok. Like, my opponent 100% has Ashiok, right? Like 7,000,000% has Ashiok. We actually don't have enough lands to not destroy the land to spell ratio with this list. So I think we're not gonna be able to do that thing that I like to do where I'm still having a reasonable amount of lands, but we want Gracers, we want Explorers. I think I like the one of Empath. Cutting a couple of backs makes sense. Do I care about Primus? I kind of don't care about Primus. They showed me Udo too, but I'm not sure I care about that. I think we just submit this. I guess this is cool. We have all of our lands. Turn 1 Waterloo Grove. You love to see it. I know that I could set up a turn 2 Dryad, but like, whatever. If I can prevent their archive traps from mattering, I'm gonna try to. Ugh. Big yikes. Big yikers. The plus side, 2 turns have gone by, my opponent has done literally nothing. There we go. I think we just have to shuffle here. Yep, there's the archive trap. Uh-huh. Do they have any fetchables here? The Triumph is gone. Stomping Ground would be the ideal. Okay, so Stomping Ground is still fetchable. Three breaches are gone. Gross. I can always discard to hand size. Well, I think I'd rather make my land drops. And I think that my opponent's gonna mill me before I get to discard to hand size, which means that if they do find the Emmy, it's because this one's going to get surgical, right? So if that's the case, I am not very excited about that prospect, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 6 mana, 7, 8. Do we have a basic? We do have a basic. It'd be nice to draw a bridge, for example. exiled my Through the Breach. Ugh. Not in a great spot right now. Not in a great spot by any means. Summoner's Pact. Are they gonna blow up Growth Chamber? Suva. Okay. Right, so there's one Breach. There's one Titan. One Dryad. Two Dryad, sorry. Those are the cards that I'm looking for. Bog. Sure. They still don't know that I have December Cool in my hand. Another Field of Ruin. Annoying. Yeah, I suspect that my opponent, like, Breach wouldn't probably be very good because I think that my opponent might have... I think that they might have the... What's his name? What am I trying to say here? Drawing the Lock. That's the card I was thinking of. We're gonna draw second Emrakul. Okay, I think we're going to go to this card this time around. With fun play patterns. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Like, both my opponent and I are trying to figure out what the best way to navigate this situation is, and like, what can we do? How can we one-up each other? It's kind of interesting. They need to have something for Emrakul, however. Maybe the thing that exiles all the creatures in our graveyards. But if that's the card, then I'd rather this happen sooner rather than later. They have nothing? They just let it resolve. Okay. What is their hand then? glimpse themselves, looking for Ura. Okay. Change of plans for opponent. Opponent with a good classic pivot. Classic pivot. 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 That's such a great Friends moment. Pivot. This game is actually interesting. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, my opponent had to, like, switch gears and try to figure out an alternate way to win, because otherwise they were just going to die to my dudes. The good thing is that we have a bunch of Gracers and shit, so... Hello there. Let's start here. Wanna play all the 1-drops now that my opponent... Now that we don't have the thing in the yard. So let's play this. And I guess we do want to bog them. Because they have Cling to Dust and they can start drawing cards. They don't have any more fetchables. They failed to find, right? Yeah, fails to find. Okay, so they have 3 islands, 1 forest, 2 swamps, 1 of these and 1 of these. Nah, there's no way that's their mana base. They have to have milled some of them. You successfully put a Gracer on the bottom. Successfully put another Gracer on the bottom. So that doesn't have targets. Okay, so they have 2 overgrown tombs, 1 watery grave, and 1 breeding pool. That seems to be the classic aggravator, guys. Yep, that's the one. Hedron Crab. So now if we find a Simic, we can actually transmute for, I guess, Empath. Well, Empath doesn't do anything. It would have to be a Titan. Alright, so I guess we're gonna be dying to this Udo, I guess. So I'm gonna be holding on to this Abrade. Milling themselves. Yeah, my opponent's just playing. They switched gears and now they're just playing Vengevine or something. Yeah, I definitely suspected that Ashiok was going to be part of the equation here. Gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. Yeah. I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. Good stuff, good stuff. Thank you for the follow, Svenzi. After this league, can I play a legit amulet list in a league? I might. Wow, are we gonna mill them? Chat, I think I'm gonna mill my opponent. They're gonna mill with the Miss Maricorp. I'm doing this before the crab trigger results, so they cannot counter this with the thing that counters. What's the name? I forgot. I literally just forgot. I keep forgetting the name of the same stupid card. Drawing the luck. There we go. Classic blocking Emrakul. Classic. Now they can't recast Uro because they die. Maybe Ashiok gets there. If we mill the second Emrakul here, we don't. Ooh, that's a huge draw. That is a huge draw. No, we're just gonna cast Stomp on the Ashiok. We actually cannot destroy this. Okay. Alright, one of the Embercools is gone. I guess I should have played the basic forest. There's no need for me not to. And now we just let them mill? But the reason why we can't die is because they're milling themselves. I swear if they have Oracle. Oh, that would be great. Okay, so what we can do is we end step kill this. Destroy target artifact. And 3 damage to target creature. And now we bog them. And even if they have one of the things that exiles everything, Emrakul just shuffles my stuff away. This is far and away the most interesting and silly game of the silly match that I have ever played against Mill. Like, far and away. This has been the wildest game that I've ever played against Mill. That was something. That was something. That was definitely something. What a game. For real, right? Like, all the swings. My opponent being the one milled is just chef's kiss. I guess if you're gonna beat Mill, it's gonna be with style. Yeah, that was wild. That was absolutely wild. I enjoy that a lot. I kind of want to get paired against Mill again. If this hand finds a bounce land, it's incredible. But if it doesn't, we're just going to die without ever being able to cast any of our spells. I think I'm going to ship it. We can do better than that. As I was saying, we can do better than that. Keep bottom. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you have Emrakul in your deck, the mill matchup turns around a little bit. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that the Emrakul would turn the mill matchup around? Wild. Okay, I would love to see an Azusa or a castle. If we find a castle, that would be great. Because that means that we can set up a turn 3 Titan. Castle. Hashtag whitelisted. So what I always say is you have to know what you want to draw, right? Oh no! Well, that was the worst. If this was the best draw, this one was the absolute worst. Oh, shit. But I think we have to go for it right now, because if my opponent resolves a Blood Moon next turn, we just die. Only one Azusa in the list. But I think that they're gonna have a lot of trouble to deal with this primetime once it hits play. So I guess we're gonna do basic plus fetch land. So they cannot Cryptic. They just don't have the mana for Cryptic. And we're covered against Blood Moon. I mean, covered against Blood Moon. Like, we're going to be attacking with a 6/6. Of course, the Breach versions are a lot better against this style of deck because Blood Moon is not as good against this version of the deck. So that is kind of a big deal. Yeah, I used all of my Azusa land drops, Rodrigo, because we had one land in play. The second land needed to be a castle. And then we needed to use all of our lands in order to make the 3 mana to cast the Azusa and also make the 6 mana to cast the Titan. They had double bolt for the Titan. Gross. I mean, it kind of sucks because we can't cast it this turn, however, so. So now we're gonna have to find what are we looking for? Like a cavern? So we can cycle this 1, 2, 3. So I'm floating blue mana here, so I can, if I dread Toleria, I can transmit for Cavern. But I'm not just going to play this Titan, because if I do that, then my opponent can just counter it. Try it. Take 1. Wow, doesn't even block with the thing in the ice. Successfully baited them. Of course, my opponent was playing Aaron Valakut there. They draw 2. Damn it. They know what's up. They know that stealing my amulet is basically no value whatsoever, so they didn't do it. Opponent too smart. Opponent too smart. Okay, so here's the opt. They flip the dude. No opt. I guess Blood Moon would suck regardless. So I'm trying to force my opponent to do something here. To be the first to act. Damn it. Opponent too smart. Well, now this doesn't do anything anymore, right? Because they're gonna flip this. Has opponent subbed yet? No, they haven't. I mean, it might be that they're ghosting, but I don't think so. Like, they have been playing tight, but like they were playing around Valakut last turn, right? And we didn't have it, so clearly they are not ghosting, because otherwise... Oof, that's really good. They put Zero Visions on top. Hey Nashu, how's it going? So they have a 7-8 now. They found the blood moon, yep. Well, now we are kind of dead, I think. Hmm. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we kind of need a little bit of help here. Because if they have like a flurry of spells, they can actually just flip this, bounce everything, and present lethal, because I know they have a Snapcaster in hand. ¿Qué haces, Untitled? Invited to your friend's podcast, just finish your recording. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, podcasts are fun. So far, I was only a guest in the Elo Punters podcast, and it was a ton of fun. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm trying to think if I can pact for empath to go get Emrakul. I could chump attack here to get a couple more lands into play. I might have to do that. I think I'm just dead, right? Like my opponent has a Snapcaster, there's a Lightning Bolt in the yard. I think that we're just done here. I don't think there's a combination of cards that actually gets me out of this. Not in time, at least. Not just dying to the awoken horrors. Yep. Snapcaster, bolt you, flip thing in the eyes with any spell, kill you. We were so close. We were so close. Any spell does it. There we go. Electrolyze! Wow, today we played against Vendilion Click, Lingering Souls, and Electrolyze. All of those. We played against all of those cards today. What year is this? What the hell is going on? So Fry not only does answer Ashio, but it also answers Sting in the Eyes. I'm pretty interested in this. Beast Within mostly as an answer to Blood Moon, though it's fine. Breaches are actually pretty good. Amulets are not so good. One can be cut. And Gracers are horrible. They don't even block particularly well because of Thing in the Ice. Yeah, this hand has the same issue that the other one had. Like, it's a fine hand if we find something, but if we don't find something, then we're just dead. This is okay. Like, I'm not psyched about this hand, but... Tonight I'm gonna drink it for Nikon Coca for 2015 Modern. Oh, those were the times. Man, I have not had a Fernet in a long time right now. For those of you that don't know, Fernet with Coke is Fernet is an Italian drink that Argentinians drink a lot of. It's kind of like a sort of national drink. It's not really a national drink, but it's kind of like a national drink of sorts. Untap land. If they have Blood Moon here, we lose. So that sucks. Don't fetch. You remember micheladas? Sí, me acuerdo, me acuerdo. Yeah, micheladas are nice. Well. We can't beat Blood Moon, so I'm playing around it. Also, it's nice that I don't have to play around play into Aether Gust. We could kill this Thing in the Eyes right here. Again, I'm prioritizing destroying Blood Moon because it's a lot tougher for us to beat. It's the official and official national drink of Argentina. Yeah, it is. That's a great way to put it. So the main phase opt kind of suggests to me that they are looking for lands, and the fact that they kept on top suggests to me that they found it. Boop. So let's blow that up. Let's play a Triome. I'm setting up Activating Palakit, and I'm also trying to set up Wormcoil Engine. If they have another Blood Moon, at least we can play the Worm. No blocks is fine. I can take 3. Suspect opponent's gonna flip here. We can force the flip, which is nice because of this Valakut. So that's cool. And then post flip, we can play the Worm, which is a nice way to play around Aether Gust. I would like to play the Wormcoil post Thing in the Ice flip though. They kept on top again. Don't Blood Moon me, bro. God damn it. I hate this card. Ban it. Ban Blood Moon. Okay, I think that we just have to slam this Wormcoil here. And my opponent cannot play around Veil or anything like that, but... Ooh, okay. Okay, they need another removal spell. Lightning Bolt. Shit! Damn it! Do you know that Blood Moon has put into edition because of Community Bolt? That's the other. Yeah, exactly. I read that story and it makes me so sad. It's literally the saddest Magic story I've ever heard. All right. Is this gonna be my 5th 2-3 in a row? I've been hemorrhaging tickets for the past couple of days. Doesn't feel great. Doesn't feel great. My first model night was Saffron Olympus 12 Moon deck. Oh, is that the one that also plays the other thing? The other Blood Sun? I don't even know what that deck looks like. Because Blood Sun and Blood Moon are kind of mutually exclusive in a way. Well, I guess not. If you're just playing mono red, it's fine. It's kind of awkward, but I think it is a keep. Untap land would be great. No untap land. That's okay. That's okay. This Explorer is kind of nice because it's going to actually allow me to transmute this to Larry West if my amulets don't get answered. Okay, so we're playing against Shadow. Mono red prison with Blood Sun, it was terrible. It sounds terrible. So it doesn't surprise me to hear you say that it was terrible. We're totally gonna get stubbed here, right? We're totally getting stubbed. Untap land so I can play around stub ED. Sweet. What if I play into stub ED here, which takes a stub ED from my opponent's hand? It takes a stub ED from my opponent's hand, which means that my summoner's pack down the line is gonna be a little bit more likely to resolve. They don't have another discard spell, although they are drawing 2 cards. Okay, I think it's actually correct for me to play into this Tower Denial. Alright, cool. Because now I'm blanking my opponent's discard spells as well, right? They should have 100% shocked. Don't understand why you wouldn't shock there. So we're gonna get this turn to bog them. Just gonna limit my opponent's outs. We do have a ton of terrible top decks here though. Like Breach is a terrible top deck. That was a good one though. And this is what I was explaining earlier, which is a way that I can actually use to... What is this? Oh. Now that I'm not gonna have double blue, do I want to discard this instead? Do I want to discard this instead of this? Or do I just want to discard this? If I pitch this, we still have Titan mana, so okay, I guess it's just correct for me to discard this, regardless. Sure. Bogging them, they probably have Traverse. And play Flurry West. Pass the turn. So if we find a Titan, we can cast it. If we find the Simic, we can transmute this to Flurry West, cast the Titan on the following turn. We find a second blue source, we can transmute 2 turns from now. I think we're going to be taking a little bit of damage from this Goifo before I bog myself. Because now we can draw Fetch Land, Triome, and Gemstone Mine. Any of those lands allow me to transmute a couple of turns from here. Okay, second Goif really speeds up their clock. I knew it! I knew that I was gonna get punished by this card. This is why I don't like this version of the deck. This is my main problem with this version of the deck. Try and play with hardened scales one day. I did in the past. Rangilras, I did. You can find the VOD in YouTube. It was fun. It was actually a lot of fun. I don't think I did very well. I honestly don't remember how bad or well I did, but I think it wasn't very good. I mean, technically not dead. Technically not dead, but we die to any sorcery. We die to another one of these. We die to many things. I'm gonna show them that through the reach. Always, always, every single time. Okay, those cards. Cut this. Cut this. Rubbish. Beast Within. Baloth? Bone Crusher? These are all terrible options, so I guess Baloth is the least bad of all the terrible options. Keep. Because of the potential of drawing Amulet, it's correct for me to play the T-West here. Overall, Gracer underperformed a lot today. Even in the matchups where it was supposed to be okay, it really underperformed. I don't think I would be playing... I'm going to be playing Gracer if the metagame... even in the face of all the mono red decks and stuff. In the no-nonsense list, it's just easy to bypass that. But like Gracer is like... the power level of this card is just so astonishingly low. Why do I try to use these words? Low power level card, that's what I meant to say. Blue source? It is a blue source, okay. Means that we can transmit next turn. What do we got here? Another discard spell? Yeah, Thoughtseize. Bye bye, Dismember. Bad draw is bad. But I still think it's correct to transmute here. Because worst case scenario, we can actually just pact for a Baloth. I think they know about this because they bubbled me, so they should have access to perfect info. If they have a Dumping Sphere, we lose. I'm fine with that, I think. We can use this turn to pay for our upkeep. Should we attack into the face of a Death Shadow? Trophy. Well, that's pretty good for us. That's super good for us. That is not so good. But at least that Gemstone Mine draw means that any bounce land now allows us to transmute next turn, so it's not that bad of a draw. Also, my opponent has to use 3 Thoughtseizes, so if they have more discard spells, they have to be Inquisitions, which is a lot easier for us to play around with our Summoner Spects. Trophy the creature, not a land. If they trophy the land, we still get to pay an upkeep. We still get to find the land, right? If they had... First of all, if you're playing against Amulet, this is not a playable card that you should have in your deck. Like, this card is absolutely unplayable. You have wasted a card to do literally nothing. My opponent would have been able to cheese me out in the previous turn if they had been able to do this. I'm gonna hold this to discard to... I guess that I can just play out the Azusa and just hold on to the basic. That seems better. But this is just not playable. You should not have in your deck. And no, but if they destroy this and I just go get a basic, so no, it doesn't work like you folks want to. Oh, I'm stupid. That's right. It doesn't work anymore. Whoops. That's fine. You couldn't pay the pact if you want to destroy land. I had 3 lands in play. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's right. I was 1 mana short. Whoops. Yeah, you guys are right. Was it? No, yeah, you're right. You guys are right. Yeah. Yeah. No. You're right. I was the one in the wrong. Ugh. So 1, 2. This is an agony. Chat is the real master. Yep. I am nothing but chat's surrogate. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tarfire, my Arboreal Gracer. Can we find a Primeval Titan, a Wormcoil Engine, an Engineered Explosives? Nope. Just more of the same fucking bounce land. This is the most frustrating Amulet League that I have played since a really long time ago. I don't even know when that was, but Primeval Titan. Alright, finally we got there. Alright, so how do we do this? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're gonna get Field of the Dead and Simic Growth Chamber. We're gonna see what my opponent fulminates. They don't fulminate anything? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I guess that we have to bounce this and replay it. Blue, transmit. So we're gonna die to anything off the top, really. Like any burn spell off the top. My opponent's really not in the activating fulminator business. They let me have all the zombies, and they also, like, they could have stopped all of this by activating fulminator on the Tolaria West or on here. It's too late now. Like, it could not be later now. Like, now it's just lethal. They can have Call Against Command or Second Tire Fire off the top, because there's no such thing as justice. I told you. Okay, that we can beat. Yeah, that one we can beat. Ren lethal incoming. Brutal. 2, 5, 6. This league never ends. I'm too lazy. Green white spaghetti. That's a name. That is a name. They want to play this guy. Nah. So if we find an Azusa, Gracer won't do it, but if we find an Azusa or Dry, I think I'm actually gonna keep this. Like, we might just die without ever doing anything. But that is a risk that I'm willing to incur. We saw Fulminator, so I would like to play... Ugh. Okay, so we actually cannot play around Fulminator. Mind you, those people that tried to make Dubious Challenge work mode. Remember those Dubious Challenge deck? Those were hilarious. Those decks were absolutely hilarious. Dubious Challenge. God damn. Let's get Triome. God damn. How is the Wormcoil working out with Empath in the deck? You fetch it yet? Instead of Titan? No. But like, the only time I played the Wormcoil was when there was a Blood Moon in play, and my opponent just answered the Wormcoil with an Abrade, and then I died anyway. So it wasn't particularly great. Well, that's the draw. That's a heck of a draw. That's exactly what I needed. Exactly what I needed. So I'm gonna go with the bounce land because if my opponent plays Fulminator, that means that they're not answering my Dryad. Dismember is good for them. Dismember is good for them. Hopefully they don't also have a shadow. And our best draw is Engineered Explosives or Bojuka Bomb. Damn, son. What can I draw? I can draw into... do I have a 3 mana? No, but I can draw into Dismember. So let's draw towards Dismember. Dismember? Castle. Well, don't dead me, please. Gracer was also a possibility. Yeah, but we had a green from the gemstone line. What's up, Donnie? We're getting our teeth kicked in today. Getting absolutely demolished. We're still fighting the fight. 5 plus 4 is 9 down to 5. So we cannot haste, but what we can do is we can make the Goyf into a baby Goyf. And then the second Titan. The problem with this line is... I guess it's better for us to bog myself and then gain 2, right? Yeah, that's actually better. Because the problem with going for... I have 6, I have 6, I have 6, I shouldn't, I have 6, and I shouldn't. As I was saying, the problem with the line of going for the baby Goyf line is that it actually pulls me. We only have 2 types of bounce lands, so it actually gets me further away from Field of the Dead territory. So does this deck still play Field of the Dead? It does, but we couldn't get there. Well, blocking that one. If they had Street Wraith, they trade with my prime time, but... Okay, so this is actually just lethal now. Somehow we got to this point. Phew. All right, 2 and 3. 2 and 3. 50 PPs. The shame PPs. Yeah, so this deck was just as clunky as I remembered it. Every little bit as clunky as I remember this deck to be, it still is. Like, I understand the I see the point, right? I see the point that you get paired against Blood Moon decks, particularly red-green mid-range, and Through the Breach actually helps you in those matchups because even though we really care about the like, it doesn't really help against the Blue Moon matchups, right? Because like we still find ourselves in the same situation. We're still losing to the same cards, be it in my opponent's list, the Blood Moon itself, the Aether Gusts, the Thing in the Ice, etc. But against the red-green decks, the Through the Breach actually attacks from an angle that the red-green decks are not ready to handle, right? So we can actually use the Breach Emrakul combo even with a Blood Moon in play, and you can still get a reasonable amount of value out of this interaction. However, this means that you need to have 2 cards in your hand, and you need to not be dead, and you need to have enough mana to cast both of those cards in your hand under Blood Moon, which makes it a requirement that you have to have at least 5 lands in play. So even though we're still looking at a good situation, there's still a lot of ifs there, right? Like we need to not be dead, and we need to have at least 7 cards. Right, we're looking for any 5 lands, which shouldn't be that hard, but it can be tough in some situations, particularly if your opponent goes turn to Magus or turn to Pillage, and you still need the Breach and the Emrakul. So still a lot of requirements, and in place of that, we're adding a bunch of clunky cards that don't really do anything by themselves. That could be cards like Uro that progress our game plan. It could be extra like cards like, I guess not Fear Sample because we have the Empath here, but like extra Explorers, which would dig us deeper and speed us up. We can have Azusa, which would speed us up as well. We can have extra lands, which, any land that we play, it's like we're playing 29 lands here, like, and with my Explode list, I've been very, very happy with 31 or even 32. So that is definitely an issue. Number 2, we had a lot of mana problems. We had a lot of mana problems. So I think if you do want to play a list like this, then your Ghost Quarter should go to the sideboard and your Bojuki Bolt should go to the sideboard. And what I would play here would be probably something like a Wooded Foothills and either Grove of the Voron Willows, maybe another Gemstone Mine, something like that. Of course, what this does is you now need to, cut some cards from the sideboard. Bone Crusher was actually not horrible. Bosaiju is not good for the reasons that I explained at the beginning. Vestige, no, because it's a really common play pattern, which basically we cast 0 Through the Breaches in the entire game. That's not true. We breached an Emrakul against my opponent's attacking Uro, so we wouldn't die to the attack, and then we won because of that. So that's not true. We actually did cast Breach exactly 1 time. And that illustrates my point. You do not want Vestige because you want your red sources to be available to you at any time you need them, particularly when you need them at instant speed. So that's the reason why I think that Vestige is not where you want to be. What was I thinking here? Maybe Dismember can go. I kind of like having access to the one of Dismember, so I guess it has to be the Bone Crusher Giant. I just like Fry and Abrade better than the Giant. And the last cut could be the Wormcoil. I was not impressed at all by the Wormcoil. I'm just gonna cut it. It doesn't feel like it fixes the issues that we have. So this is where I would go next if I were to try this list again, which I'm not, because I don't enjoy this version of the deck. Also, there's the chance that Stacy is better than Gracer, just because I don't like Gracer as a card. So if I were to play this list, if you do enjoy this form of playing Amulet, this is probably the list that I would start with. So yeah, take all that you saw today with a grain of salt, and I'm trying to see how we can better, build this version of the deck. Though I think that kinda by definition, this is just the worst version of the deck. Also, another thing is it's not clear that we want 2 Emrakuls. It's not clear that we want to. We might just actually be better served with 1 Emrakul and just cut the just cut it and just have it as a fierce empath target. And again, you can pack for empath for Emrakul if you really need the effect of the Emrakul in a situation. So yeah, those are my thoughts right now. Those are my thoughts about this list. And yeah, if you're trying to play this deck, best of luck, and let me know which cards you have had success with and which ones you didn't like. But I think this is going to be a little bit more smooth than what we looked at today. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.